Okay, if you've already done my pool class, you're going to remember that these bricks don't look like the ones that we used before. The ones I did before, I had Flex Seal paint on it. You drilled a screw into the side and drilled a D-ring in it. This is way easier and I find more effective. The Flex Seal gets real, it chips off and gets real ratty-tatty. So all we've done with this one is white duct tape, and you duct tape all the way around the entire dang brick. Right, all the way around, and then I duct tape around the edges. Cool thing about this one is the duct tape doesn't get ratty, and second thing is if it does, it's duct tape. Put a new piece on it and go about your business. Now the other thing that I've done to make tying the balloons onto the brick easier is I got these massive zip ties. These are the biggest zip ties I've ever seen, but they're easy to carry. The other thing I like about these zip ties is when you stack the bricks on top of each other, there's going to be room for them to, they're not going to sit flat, which means that if there's moisture on it, it'll be able to dry. Otherwise your bricks are sticking together, makes it really difficult. So white duct tape all the way around the whole thing, all the way around this way. I think it took me about 7 or 8 minutes per brick to duct tape it, so give yourself time if you're going to do it. I would do it before you needed it done. And then you're going to take a big zip tie, which I'll put a link to the one that I use in the description of this. Big zip tie around it. You can preemptively go ahead and put monofilament onto your brick before you even get to the pool if you need to save time. And then we have a balloon right here, which is the last one going into the pool for this job. So that's how we do our new bricks. Easy as pie. Duct tape, big zip tie, ready to roll. So we're gonna have a 3-foot balloon, and you're gonna put a light inside of it. These puck lights, we tie a 260 onto the back. You wanna be careful not to break the little plastic clip, otherwise it's gonna mess it up. You also wanna make sure these are tight. They're waterproof and they have a seal, but you wanna make sure they're tight. Another thing you wanna do, before you put this light into the balloon, and then the balloon filled with air or helium, and then you put this in the pool, is you wanna turn this bad boy on. These lights are supposed to be able to be turned on through the balloon, but I work in Florida, it's sunny out. You can have a light on inside a balloon, and as long as the sun's out, you're just not gonna know it. So I don't take chances. I turn the light on first, and then when I go to put it in, I generally will hold the 260, and I finger open this balloon, and then you can just force the puck light right down into it. Now what you don't want to have happen is you don't want your 260 to disappear into the balloon, but you can see the lights on, it's in the balloon, this thing's ready to be inflated. Okay, so you have your lights in your balloons, or you just have your balloons, whatever. You're at a pool and you're trying to inflate your balloons. If you need them all the same size, one thing you can do, you can grab a couple of pool chairs, line them up. What I do is I like to inflate one balloon to the size that I want it to be, and then I usually will use my cart, and if I'm using helium, I'll use my cart and my helium tank to determine the size, or I'll use a couple of pool chairs or whatever. But you inflate one first, measure how big that is, and then all your other ones are measured between those two guys. So for an air-filled one, it'll look like this. Okay, that's how you inflate a balloon and keep them all the same size while you're at a pool. Okay, you have your balloon inflated. This one's inflated with air. There happens to be a light inside of it. And what I'm going to use is our pool brick. And it already has the monofilament attached, which saves you time on site. You can do this at your shop or at your house. But monofilament's attached. This is going in air in the pool. So what you want to do is, just like tying balloons on ribbon, you're going to take the nozzle, you're going to wrap it over the line. I like to bring my hand under the line and grab it and pull it around. That way I know that the line is in the middle. And these are metallic balloons, so they're really tough And they're very tricky to tie sometimes. The big ones are. That's all the way through. We're not gonna blame this, so these I'll just cut. Okay, so I have it tied. The nozzle's all the way through. I'm gonna cut off the excess 260s. If this was in helium, I'd cut them off. Since it's in air, this is gonna be underwater. Nobody's gonna see it. It doesn't matter. Now, helium balloons, if this was a helium balloon, I would go ahead and tie it off so that it can't fly away. This is an air-filled balloon, so if I let it go, it's just gonna fall. So I'm not worried about it flying away to the sky. But what I want is when I'm in the water, I want to be able to bring the height of this down to the level of the water, and then I tie it off so I know that it's tight against the surface of the water. The only way to do that is by leaving this balloon slippery on the monofilament. So I wait, and the person in the pool is going to be the one that ties this off. We have our pool brick, which I've already shown you how we wrap it and everything. One thing you can do with these bricks on site is you can go ahead and tie your monofilament onto the brick. And then if you're adding a helium-filled balloon to this, when you're done, you tie it secure. So the person in the pool, you can just hand them the line. You don't have to worry about the balloon escaping. So again, it's already tied to the brick. Whenever you're done inflating your balloon, tie it secure to the line when you give it to the guy in the pool, or the girl, when you give it to the pool person. So if you're the pool person and you want to adjust the height of your helium-filled balloon, all you're going to do is underwater, you're going to flip your brick, and what that does is it wraps the line around the brick, and it'll start bringing the height of the balloon down, which you might be able to see in the video. Obviously, if it's a helium balloon, you're going to want more than 2 feet, but that's what you do in the water to get the height that you're looking for.